always, people ask me, what's your favorite season? Is this your best one? And I always decline to answer that question because it's impossible for me, after this many years and with as many artists as we've had, to pick a particular season that stands out or a particular artist or artists who are my favorites. There are so many wonderful performers that we have had here at McCarter. I'm Bill Lockwood, and I am the Director of Special Programming at McCarter Theater. Well, I'm always excited because music is where it all started here at McCarter. The series is now over 50 years old and is still going strong. This year we have Richard Good, who is going to be playing an all-Bach program. We have Emanuel Axe, and he'll be playing a largely Beethoven program. Somebody who I often like to cite as my favorite pianist, and that's Mitsuko Uchida, whose appearances here are very rare and few and far between. She hasn't been here in quite a while. And this year I'm very proud to bring to McCarter Eric Owens, the baritone from the Metropolitan Opera. And this will be his Princeton or McCarter debut. And then we have two concerts, two Baroque programs, both of which will take place at Richardson Auditorium. One of them is the return of the Bach Brandenburgs. For the second year in a row, we're happy to welcome Jacques Lacombe and the New Jersey Symphony back to Richardson in a performance of Messiah with choir and soloists. Mark Morris is probably one of the two or three most important contemporary choreographers today in the dance world, with over 100 works. Like Martha Graham and one or two others in our time, Twyla Tharp being another, has brought a new language to dance on his own, through his own work, that doesn't look like anybody else. Petronio was modern as well as contemporary, but he's one of the pioneers of the contemporary dance scene, and he's never been to McCarter. We'll be bringing a dance company from Cuba, essentially a folk dance company including both dancers and musicians. So you're getting a classical and contemporary take on the dance arts in Cuba. The Dance Theater of Harlem is quite classical. Arthur Mitchell was the dancer who founded the company, was a dancer with the New York City Ballet for many, many years. And they have regained their momentum, they have reclaimed their turf, they are essentially reborn under Virginia Johnson. We start off our season with an unusual combination of two performers, each of whom has been here before to McCarter on their own. One is Bela Fleck, the master of the banjo, who has been here many times, and the other is Chick Corea, one of the great jazz artists of our time, who's been here with his trio, his quintet, but obviously the focus will be on duets between Bela and Chick, which is quite unusual and something they've never done before. Another one of my favorite groups that I'm always happy to bring back here, because they are in a class by themselves, and that is the Salzburg Marionettes. And they're bringing this year a brand new show which our audiences have not seen before, their adaptation of Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland. In the spring, we're bringing back probably the foremost Indian musician right now of our time, Zakir Hussain. Arla Guthrie. He's returning with some of his bandmates in November. This is the 50th anniversary, believe it or not, of Alice's Restaurant Massacre, which gave rise to the song which became sort of one of our national folk anthems. The Minoso Brass are sort of a combination of five brass virtuosos with the Flying Karamazov brothers. It's funny, but it's also very musical. Jazz master Kenny Barron hasn't been here for years, and he will be back with his trio. In terms of the jazz world, one of the really hot young groups that's attracted a great deal of attention is a group called the Hot Sardines. And it's a jazz band that takes us back to French music hall days. One of the other groups that emerged a couple of years ago and is a vocal group of 8 singers is called A Roomful of Tea. Heath. They will also be here. One of their members, Carolyn Shaw, who was a grad student at Princeton University in the music department, won the Pulitzer Prize 2 years ago for one of her works written for Roomful. Christine Ebersole, talk about cabaret. She is one of the queens, first ladies of the cabaret world. This will be her third or fourth performance here. Taylor Mack is a performance artist, but he's also a writer, a composer, an actor. You name it, he does it. I like to think I know the Princeton community and audience. It's grown tremendously, it's changed. The scope is so much greater in terms of what we present, the type of events we present. Geographically, the metro is much larger. Audiences are receptive, they're warm, they're eager to learn. They applaud, and we've made a match, I think, between our public and the artists we bring here.